Good afternoon, boys. Last time we have seen the list of formulae, and now we see the examples which are based on this formulae. Let us see first example. A fan is rotating at 90 rpm revolutions per minute. It is then switched off. It stops after 21 revolutions. Calculate the time taken by it to stop, assuming that the frictional torque is constant. So we are given this example. While solving the examples, the first important thing, convert this example in terms of two parts. Data, that means given thing in terms of symbols. And second thing, what to find out in terms of symbol. So convert this total example in terms of symbols. Let us see again example. A fan is rotating at 90 rpm. That means initial value of revolutions is 90 rpm. So this rpm is unit of frequency. So we consider we are given initial frequency of the fan, that means body, is 90 rpm. So we consider initial means 1. N1 is equal to 90 rpm. RPM, revolutions per minute, is not the SI unit. It should be RPS, that means hertz. So we convert this minute in terms of second. So if we divide, so in place of minute we write 60. So 90 upon 60 RPS, revolutions per second. So we get 3 upon 2 RPS or hertz, revolutions per second, frequency of these revolutions. We are given it is then switched off. It stops after 21 revolutions. So we can say that final frequency, the body stops, fan stops. So we can say that frequency of rotation after certain time is 0, final position. So N2 is equal to final position, final frequency, N2 is equal to 0. And we are given total number of revolutions 21. So we are given capital N, the symbol for revolutions is 21. And what to find out? See again example. Calculate. So from this word we can understand we want to find out time. The symbol for time is T. Now we require first kinematical equation. What is first kinematical equation? We know that V is equal to U plus AT is called as first kinematical equation in linear motion, or we can say that translational motion. In rotational motion, we convert this in terms of rotational motion. So V, final velocity, in place of this we can write omega 2, final angular velocity, is equal to, in place of u we write initial angular velocity, that means omega 1, plus a means acceleration. In the rotational motion, acceleration is shown by alpha, angular acceleration, and t remain as it is. So we get omega 2 is equal to omega 1 plus alpha t. So from this we get alpha t is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1. That means transfer this omega 1 on this side. So we get alpha is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t. That means t is transferred other side. It becomes division. So this is called as equation number 1. Now by second kinematical equation, what is second kinematical equation? V square is equal to u square plus twice s. So in rotational motion, we get omega 2 square is equal to omega 1 square plus twice alpha theta. So in place of v, we write omega 2. In place of u, we write omega 1. In place of a, we write alpha, angular acceleration. And in place of s, we write theta. Theta means angular displacement. S indicates displacement, linear displacement. Here theta means angular displacement, difference is there. So again we can transfer this omega 1 square on this side. So what we get, twice alpha theta is equal to omega 2 square minus omega 1 square. So again alpha is equal to, that means transfer this 2 theta on the other side, it becomes division. So alpha is equal to omega 2 square minus omega 1 square upon 2 theta, equation number 2. So by 1 and 2 we get alpha is equal to alpha. Why? Equation 1 contains left hand side alpha and equation 2 also contains alpha on left hand side. So as left hand side of both equations are equal, we can say that right hand side of equation 1 must be equal to right hand side of equation 2. So we get alpha is equal to alpha. Right hand side of this equation we get omega 2 square minus omega 1 square upon 2 theta is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t, equation number 3. We know that omega, the standard formula omega is equal to twice pi n. We have seen this formula in previous standard. This is standard formula. So in place of omega 2 we can write twice pi n2. So in place of n we write n2. In place of omega we write omega 2. So we get twice pi n2. What is n2? We have seen. Finally the fan stops. So final frequency is 0. So we get twice pi into 0. That means 0. So we got omega 2 is equal to 0. Now omega 1. So twice pi n is the standard formula. So 1. So twice pi n1. We have seen in data value of n1 90 rpm. That means 90 upon 60. That means 3 upon 2. So in place of n1 we write 3 upon 2. So we get this 2 and this 2 get cancelled. So 3 pi is the value of n1, omega 1. So omega 1 is equal to 3 pi. Let us see this concept. In one rotation, theta is equal to 2 pi. See diagram. One complete rotation, theta is equal to 2 pi. In two rotations, theta is equal to 4 pi. See here, it starts from x-axis, one complete rotation, 2 pi. Again one more complete rotation, 2 plus 2 pi, 4 pi. So theta is equal to 4 pi. We can write this as 2 pi into 2. In three rotations, now three rotations are there. In one complete rotation, 2 pi. Second rotation, 2 pi. Third rotation, 2 pi. That means 6 pi. So we can write this as 2 pi into 3. So in n rotations, theta is equal to twice pi n. So n indicates number of revolutions. So we know value of omega 2, we know value of omega 1, we know value of theta. Putting these values in equation 3, we get. So putting values of omega 1, omega 2 and theta in equation 3, we get. So in place of omega 2, we write 0 square minus omega 1, that means 3 pi square upon 2 theta, that means 2 into 2 pi into capital N is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t, that means 0 minus 3 pi upon t. So we get 0 square is equal to 0 minus this 3 square 9, pi square as it is, divided by 2 into 2 pi into 21. Why 21? Because capital N, that means number of revolutions is equal to 21. It is given to us. So we get 0 minus 9 pi square divided by 2 into 2 pi into 21 is equal to 0 minus 3 pi, omega 2 0, omega 1 3 pi upon t. So 0 minus 3 pi, we get minus 3 pi upon t. So this minus 0 minus 9 pi square we get minus 9 pi square divided by 2 into 21, 4 into 21 pi is equal to minus 3 pi. So we get 9 pi square upon 2 into 2 into 21 pi is equal to minus 3 pi t. So this minus sign and this minus sign get cancelled. So what is remaining? 9 pi square upon 2 into 42 pi is equal to 3 pi t. Only one term is unknown, that is t, that we want to find out. Remaining all terms are constant. We can find out the value of t. Just simple mathematics is there. So we get 9 pi upon 42 into 2 is equal to 3 pi upon t. So we can say that this pi and this pi get cancelled. So we get 9 upon 42 into 2 is equal to 3 upon t. So we want to find out t. So transfer this t on this side and all these terms to other side. So unknown term on one side and all known term to different side. So we get t is equal to 3 into 42 upon 9. We can say that we can divide 9 by 3. So with 3 9. So we get 42 upon 3 into 2 as it is. No change. So we get 42 into 3. If we 42 divided by 3, what we get is 14. So 14 into 2, that means 28. So we get t is equal to 28 second. S is a symbol for measurement of time. So this is our final answer. So we got final answer t is equal to 28 second. That means to stop the fan completely from 90 rpm to 0 revolutions is 28 second. Second example. Coefficient of static friction between coin and a gramophone disc is 0.5. The radius of disc is given as 8 centimeter. Initially, the center of the coin is pi centimeter away from the center of the disc. At what minimum frequency will it start slipping from there? By what factor will the answer change if the coin is almost at the rim? In a bracket, g is equal to pi r square meter per second square. It is given to us. So first of all, divide the example into two parts. A given thing and what is to find out, data and what to find out. There are two cases. Case number 1, we are given that initially the coin is placed at pi centimeter away from the center of the disc. So this coin, this small circle indicates a coin. This big circle indicates a gramophone disc. So this coin is slightly placed away from the gramophone disc at a distance pi centimeter. So we can say that in this typical case, the value of r is equal to pi centimeter. Distance between this center to center of the coin, that means r is equal to pi centimeter. Always convert in terms of SI system. So centimeter means 1 upon 100 meter. So divide this pi by 100. What we get is the meter. So r is equal to pi upon 100 meter. We are given mu, coefficient of static friction. Coefficient of static friction between coin and gramophone disc is 0.5. So mu indicates the symbol for coefficient of static friction, that means 0.5, and we want to find out minimum frequency. At what minimum frequency? You want to find out frequency. Will it start slipping from there? So we want to find out value of n1. What is second case? By what factor will the answer change if the coin is almost at the rim? That means when the coin reaches here, what is the frequency change that we want to find out? Case number 1. Suppose this is the gramophone disc. This big circle indicates a gramophone disc which is rotating, and this is center, and coin is placed at a distance of pi centimeter. So because of this rotation, the coin slips towards the edge. So we can say that there must be something which is responsible for motion of this coin towards the edge. That something responsible is nothing but a centrifugal force. So we can say that centrifugal force is the responsible thing for motion of this coin moving away from the center of this circle. We have seen this concept in the article of centrifugal force. So in this typical case, there is only one force acting between the coin and disc, that means friction, and maximum friction is called as limit of static friction. So this limit of static friction, maximum frictional force must be equal to the centrifugal force. So we can say that this equation, limit of static friction is equal to centrifugal force. This is important concept. If you understand this concept, it is easy to find out value of frequency. What is maximum frictional force? Limit of static friction, you know the formula mu into m into g. We have seen this article in the article of velocity along horizontal circular path is equal to centrifugal force is given by standard formula m omega square r, or we can say that mv square upon r. So in place of this we write m omega square r, the standard formula. This m and this m get cancelled. So what is remaining? Mu g is equal to omega square r, or we can say that omega square is equal to mu g upon r. So we get, so in place of mu we write the value which is given 0.5 m, and in place of g we are given the value pi square. So in place of this we write pi square, and we are given value of r. In this typical case r is pi centimeter, that means pi upon 100 meter. So we get pi upon 100. But we know that omega is given by twice pi n. This is standard formula for angular velocity. Omega is equal to twice pi n. Formula is there. So here we get twice pi n1. We call this n as a n1 is equal to 0.5. See 0.5. We can write 1 upon 2. 1 upon 2 and this 0.5 meaning is same. So we get 1 upon 2 into pi square into 100 upon pi. Square of this term. So we get 4 pi square n1 square is equal to this 2 and this 100 becomes 50. 50 pi square upon pi. So this pi square and this pi square on left hand side and right hand side get cancelled. So what is remaining? 4 n1 square equal to 50 upon pi. We want to find out n1. So n1 should be on one side, remaining all term to different side. So n1 is equal to 50 upon 4 pi, or we can say that n1 square is equal to 25 upon 2 pi. We want to find out n1. So taking roots of both sides. So we get under root n1 square is equal to under root 25 upon 2 pi. 25 is a perfect square of 5 square. So we get 5 upon under root 2 into pi. What is the value of pi? 3.142. So we get 5 upon under root this, if you multiply this we get 6.282, and this square root symbol almost comes out to be 2.5. So we get n1 is equal to 2.5 rps, that means revolutions per second. This we want to find out in the first case. This we got the first answer of the first case. Case number 2. The coin is at the rim, that means at end of the disc. So radius of the disc is 8 centimeter. So distance between this point and this point is 8 centimeter. Just like previous article. Again, the force responsible for this coin moving away from center is called as a centrifugal force. So again, just like previous article, limit of static friction is equal to centrifugal force, and we know the standard formula mu mg is equal to m omega square r. So we get mu, this m and this m get cancelled. So mu g is equal to omega square r. So we get omega square is equal to mu g upon r. So we get omega square is equal to, in place of mu we write 0.5, we are given the value. In place of g we write the value of g, that means pi square, it is given to us, and in place of denominator, that means r, we got the value 8 upon 100 centimeter. But omega is called as a twice pi. So in place of this we write twice pi n2. Second case, so we call this as a n2 equal to 1 upon 2, because 0.5 is nothing but 1 upon 2 into pi square into 100 divided by 8. Simple mathematics is there. So we get 4 pi square, bracket square is there. So 4 pi square n2 is equal to 50 pi square upon 8. So we get 4 n2 square is equal to 50 upon 8, or we can say that n2 square is equal to 50 upon 8 into 4, or we get n2 square is equal to 25 upon 16. We want to find out n2. So roots of both sides. So we get under root n2 square is equal to under root 25 upon 16. A perfect square will be outside. So 5 upon 4. 5 square is 25, 4 square is 16. So we get n2 is equal to 5 upon 4, or we get 1.25, or if we compare this n2 with n1, we get n2 is equal to 1 upon 2 times n1. So we can say that by 1 upon 2 factor, the value of frequency changes. This is our required answer. So in the case number 2, we got the answer. First case n1 is 2.5. In case number 2, we get 1 upon 2 factor changes. So this is our second answer. Next time we will see more examples based on this chapter. Now we stop here.